Hi, I'm Vincent, TME of the MIG routing team. I would like to share more details with you on the optics, MACsec, and timing support for the fixed ports. 57C3 supports two types of fixed ports, SFP28 and QSFP-28. There are 48 SFP28 ports, 24 of them are connected directly to the NPU, and 24 more are connected via an external PHY chip. All ports support any mix of 1GB, 10GB, and 25GB optics. For 10GB, only limiting optics are supported. For 1GB, optical is supported but not copper due to the lack of auto-negotiation. There are also 4 or 8 QSFP-28 ports. Each port can support either 40GB or 100GB optics and can individually support 4x10GB or 4x25GB breakout. The front panel is very packed and does not have space for per port LED, so there is a 4-segment LED and a switch for you to operate and see the port status. MACsec support requires an external PHY chip as there is no native MACsec support on the NPU. Therefore, only the 24 SFP28 ports with external PHY supports MACsec. Both 10GB and 25GB support MACsec, but not 1GB. 57C3 supports timing and implements PTP Grandmaster Clock with PRTC-A performance. It supports both internal GNSS with antenna input or external GNSS with the 3 GPS inputs. All fixed ports support SYNC 40GB or 100GB on QSFP28 and 10GB or 25GB for SFP28. 1GB optical SYNC on the SFP28 PHY ports is under planning. All fixed ports support PTP boundary clock, 40GB or 100GB on QSFP28 and 10GB or 25GB on SFP28. Both telecom profiles G.8275.1 or G.8275.2 are supported. Only SFP28 and QSFP28 direct ports support G.8275.1 Class C performance. SFP28 PHY ports support Class B performance. 1GB optical Class B support for SFP28 PHY ports is under planning. I would like to share more details with you on the optics, MACsec, and timing support on the new QSFP-DD MPA. The new QSFP-DD MPA provides enhanced 800GB bandwidth on MPA slots 2 and 3 while still maintaining backward compatibility with legacy 400GB MPA slot 1. There are 4 QSFP-DD sockets supporting all QSFP optics variants such as QSFP+, QSFP28, and QSFP-DD up to 400GB. The PHY chip is integrated to support MACsec, Class C timing, reverse gearbox, and gearbox functions for flexible optics breakout. On an 800GB slot, the 4 QSFP-DD sockets are arranged in 2 FlexPort pairs. Each FlexPort pair shares 400GB bandwidth. Port 0 supports 400GB optics in 400GB mode or 4x100GB breakout. Both ports support QSFP-DD 2x100GB optics, total also 400GB. Each port supports any mix of 40GB, 100GB, 4x10GB, or 4x25GB breakout. A combination of QSFP-DD 2x100GB optics and then 100GB or 4x25GB optics is also supported. On a 400GB slot, the 4 QSFP-DD ports are sharing 400GB bandwidth. However, each interface cannot exceed 100GB. Port 0 supports 400GB optics only in 4x100GB breakout. Port 0 and Port 2 supports QSFP-DD 2x100GB optics, total also 400GB. Each port supports any mix of 100GB, 40GB, 4x25GB, and 4x10GB breakout. A combination of QSFP-DD 2x100GB optics and 100GB, 40GB, 4x25GB, and 4x10GB optics are also supported. On a persistent basis, 57C3 supports a total of 5 400GB optics. For slots 2 and 3, each QSFP-DD MPA supports 2 400GB optics each, and on slot 1, 1 400GB optics is supported in 4x100GB breakout mode. 400GB ZR Plus DCO is also supported, MACs4 in 400GB transponder mode, and MACs5 in 4x100GB Marscott mode. The QSFP-DD MPA also supports MACsec on all ports with the assistance from the PHY chip. All speeds of 400GB, 100GB, and 40GB support MACsec. MACsec over breakout of 4x100GB, 4x25GB, and 4x10GB are also supported. The QSFP-DD MPA supports timing on all ports with the assistance from the PHY chip. All speeds of 400GB, 100GB, and 40GB support SYNC and PTP. G.8275.1 telecom profile is supported with Class C performance. G.8275.2 is also supported.